Hello, and welcome to yet another TRC podcast where I'm your host, Dane, and to my right, host Levi Gates.
Hey, I'm a host.
He's a host.
Who would have thought?
He's a co-host. He's a host. I'm a co-host. I'm a host. And another host over here is Anthony Fisher.
You're a
on my
co-host
left.
host. I'm a host co-host.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Whatever.
Host to coast. Coast to
I
coast.
get.
All right, Space Ghost. Anyway, wow. Any housekeeping before we get into the show?
No, we were just
today?
talking about the intricacies of Chick-fil-A and how they
Yeah.
work prior to the
deep
show.
diving
So we were down that
into
rabbit
their
hole.
selection process.
And I was just saying that
Yeah.
I noticed the
most charitable way to say it is people there seem less miserable working there than other fast
that's
food
literally
places.
what it is. That's
think
literally
that's
what it is. And I'm just surprised by it. That's all.
They're putting
The
something in the
overall
water.
environment
What are they
seems
doing?
a
If
little-
everything's the same, pay, benefits, all that stuff is the same, let's say across, because we don't know. Why? What is it? What is the
and they
it
have to stand
factor?
outside.
in the chat.
Yeah, they
debate,
have to stand
please.
outside. They take turns, though. They do
Yeah.
take turns.
Yeah.
So anyway,
something to ponder.
it's just a pre-roll conversation that we have. We have a lot of pre-roll conversations.
Just a little
before
warm up before the show.
The show starts, and we never really know where we're going until the final second where we go live. So it is February.
Yeah.
February
It's
what?
literally
It's
so
almost
again
March.
putting this out
February
there.
21st.
You guys have 1 week. Not even a week. Really, you need to get your orders in today. Your package is shipped
Yeah.
because my birthday is on Friday.
Oh.
And I'm awaiting a number of gifts from all of our great
I don't
listeners.
know if we can ask people to send
That
you gifts.
seems
But they're just
not
birthday
quite
presents.
right.
They're people
I know.
saying happy
I don't
birthday.
know.
It's like out of the goodness of their heart.
I just
You
don't know.
know.
I don't know we've ever
Thank
done
you,
that
LHF.
before, but well, there's options out there, I suppose. So Levi will be turning 40.
3.
43. Can you believe that? You're saying 43 years old.
Yeah, no, it's messed up.
When
dude.
you hit 45, you're going to be 5 more years till you're 50.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that-
It's gonna be good. I'm actually excited. I'm excited to hit my mid 40s. I'm excited to enter that stride.
Okay.
Come what they call what's the word, a zaddy?
Yeah.
Oh no!
that's the
No,
word.
don't be using that
no, that's
language.
Is that how it's
No.
called?
I don't
No,
know that.
don't like
kids,
that.
Kids are saying that.
No,
But,
Got that,
not comfortable with that
I've got
one.
more gray now in my beard,
Yeah.
which is a sign of wisdom. We all know that.
Yeah.
And a sign of respect. So
I'm 33, right?
yes. I'm sure you are,
Oh
Anthony.
my God!
No, I'm legit.
Well, I'm a year older than you, so I turned 34 this year.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
So I turned 34 later this year.
Yeah.
Dude,
In December, you turned. You just turned
He
33.
legitimately
In my
just
head-
forgot his own
In my
age.
head,
Yeah, you
I
forgot.
think I'm 32 still.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh.
why I had to verify. I'm 33, right?
Yeah, you just turned
I
33.
love the way you asked it, though. Right?
Dude, I don't know. Getting older sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sure does.
sorry.
I was gonna say this poor guy's over here. He's
Sure
like,
does.
I'm a preview, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just-
Levi's 10
No,
years
we
older.
were talking, and I was like, just so you know, I'm 10 years ahead of you in the future. Literally. I had my daughter the same age he
Ghost
did.
of Christmas future
So,
over here.
Yeah. So anyway, so getting
man.
into this, right? So we are obviously here to have some fun and go over the main show stuff, but some housekeeping that we need to clean up.
Yes.
A little bit of sweeping, a little bit of keeping, a little bit of other
Nice.
fun things.
Yeah.
So we have some exciting new things on the way. About mid-March, there's going to be some pretty cool things happening around here.
How do they
right?
find out about that stuff?
Signing up for the newsletter at
There you go.
theredcompany.com.
That's
You're not
the
signed up.
stuff.
You're not going to know.
Details, right?
Yes.
Go and check that out.
Do it.
But yeah, mid-March we're planning on some more fun stuff. Maybe you're feeling lucky mid-March for any reason. I don't know why you'd be feeling lucky, but maybe you are feeling lucky.
Maybe you just don't.
Just something to think about, right? And then on top of that, this week we're going to be shooting some more videos here. We have some other videos planned. I think as a small teaser, we are going to be talking about drill brushes in one of these upcoming videos, which me and Levi had to go to the junkyard to pick up, to acquire some goods for these, I guess, drill brushes that we're going to be using. And then outside of that, though, trying to think, last week we didn't wrap up any sales.
No.
Last week. So
We're pretty quiet for the next couple weeks.
Things are quiet right now.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really think we have any other housekeeping as of right now. Oh, check out the video.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it was.
Got a new video.
We
So
took a
last
little work to
weekend,
get there, but we got there.
did a diamond leather coating on Nate's Corvo RRX seats.
On his
that
new
he picked up.
Corvos that he put in his pickup.
Yep.
His
And-
S10, for those of you
seats.
guys wondering.
I just love that those seats are in an S10.
Well, they're also in a Civic, and they are gorgeous.
They are.
They're good.
They're
They're
great.
beautiful.
So we filmed that video. Basically, it's just a coating video. That's all. I mean, it's all it really is. But we tried to have some fun with it. Try to make it somewhat exciting to watch. And
Oh no!
Anthony is so low energy now. Can you imagine him at 40? He'll need a Red Bull and
A nimble Portuguese woman just to get going. Oh, gee, that is great.
Just
that
cracking your
is
back.
hilarious and probably not wrong. No, but in all seriousness, so the check out the video. It's on the Ride Company YouTube channel. I think it was pretty funny. I think it had some good information in there, and the seats also are just super.
Yeah,
cool.
It's that
He-
trash treasure one.
He
you
had
see.
it. He has it. He drove it yesterday. I went and took some pictures
good
of
with
it
those
because I
wheels
couldn't
on
see
it.
it. It's got a set of Koenigs on it.
Yeah.
He's got Willwood discs in the front. He's got, obviously, if you guys didn't know, it's LS swapped. So it's got a
Yeah, it looks
5.3
ready for,
LS
like,
in it.
LS Fest or something.
And then he put those Corbos in, and he's been doing a black interior conversion as he's been finding panels.
Yeah.
And it just looks, and he's got that new shifter.
Women
it's just-
and men love that thing.
Yeah.
They just throw themselves at that
They
truck.
literally, well, the good thing is it's got
throw
a bed.
themselves in the bed in
It's
the
got a
back, so
bed,
it'll
so you
hold
can just,
people,
just
yeah.
stack them up, stack
Yeah.
them bodies high.
Can.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into
man.
some weekends here. Dane,
Yeah.
my sweet boy. I know that you had a decent weekend here.
I had a decent weekend.
And I think it ended up with a very decent result as well.
Yeah, no, it was, it had its stresses and stuff, but in the end, I think it turned out for the best.
Well, hit us. How to start off?
Yeah, I'll keep my weekend short and sweet. I finally
huge.
managed to
Short and
sell
short and
the
sweet.
Jag.
I went for a walk.
So, no.
You did
So
what?
I did that stuff too.
Oh,
but,
you
you
did
know,
What
you-
happened? Hold on.
repeat
Go
it
back.
one more time.
Go back.
Jaguar sold. So, yeah. So
Say that louder.
Well, let's say it louder.
So basically,
Sounded like you had marbles
when
in
it
your
rains, it pours. I ended up with like kind of a dead feeling week where like I wasn't getting any more hits on the car, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
finally
You're
pass
getting
its
ready,
prime.
and you were getting ready to lower that
Looking
price
like-
even more, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen. You can pick up the Jag.
The reality
for cheap.
was that price I had it at was my absolute floor. I was not going below that, despite what Kelly Blue Book will have you say. I looked at NADA guides and JD Power and stuff. The price is much higher over there, and I'm like, that's more like it. Kelly Blue Book, it seems to be like a cottage industry designed to like make lowballers feel empowered. I'm just straight up saying that. As somebody who's like shopping for cars, hey, it's a great tool, but also if somebody chooses not to believe in the gospel of Kelly Blue Book, then, well, good luck. But in any case, that was saying it was more like, oh, you're like maybe like 18, 19,000, whereas which hurts,
You
but
paid,
it's not.
You paid how much for it?
I bought it for 22,
Okay.
and I sold it for 22.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there we
Hey!
go. So we made it work. But it was kind of goofy. Through a series of events, I over this weekend suddenly got a ton of messages just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Everybody was waiting for the weekend to say something, I think. So I had like 3 random local numbers call me like, hey, when can I come check out the Jag? And this was the weekend that I was getting the calipers painted so that they would all no longer be my ketchup and mustard calipers.
Well, you wanted to get rid of the glizzy Jag.
Yeah, right. Because as you guys informed me, if you think about it, Dane, you're driving an inverse hot dog. The bun's on the inside because it's got like a toasted, bun color interior.
It's a relish
And then it's
exterior.
relish on the exterior.
Yeah.
And then the brake calipers on one side are ketchup and the others are
Yeah,
mustard.
and then the wheels are buns. More buns because they're gold.
more buns. So that's the toasted part. 'cause
I
it's
didn't
darker.
understand why you spray painted the center of the grill red, though. That was the only thing.
What?
I thought that was kind of weird.
What?
Thought that was strange. You
did
said
not
it was.
do that.
You said it's to show that there's a hot dog in there. And I
Oh,
thought
no.
that was odd. You're selling the
Yeah,
car.
no, that did not happen.
whatever.
So,
Crazy gobbler.
yeah.
You said, hey, truck the farm paint, industrial paint. Works
So
great.
anyway, that part I got piled on with messages just here at the end of the week, like out of the blue. People must have been waiting or something. But then at it was like 12:30, maybe even 1 a.m. on Sunday night. I got a message from a guy saying that after talking to me, and this was like 2 weeks old, these messages, and he He basically, I saw
Dang it, guys.
saw the comments.
Reading your comments.
He
as they're
basically
coming in.
just hit the buy it now button
Wow.
on eBay. And I
Ooh,
went,
that's
oh,
big money.
Wow. Okay. So this guy just committed big
Yeah.
time. But
Well, he also did his
corresponded
research,
with me
but he
for
probably did his
a
research
week or
and
two.
noticed that was a very well-priced Jag.
He understood. And I've been talking with some other folks. They knew what they were looking at. They knew that it was a good opportunity to get into a car that had been taken care of by somebody who loved it. You know, and it's
put
one
a
of
lot of
those
money
things
into
because yes, I did.
Dane, if you were to be honest with everybody, or try not, I mean,
Oh, no, I'm an open
So
book.
put it this way.
so-
Do you want to be honest?
how much money would you say the project has costed you?
Okay, I'm not that open.
No, it's like that TikTok sound. It's about double. Is that? Are you happy about that? No, I would have liked it to have cost less.
No, the reality is if I add the stuff up,
You're getting a free
realistically,
custom-made rear bumper with the car.
all of the
This
things
was never installed.
outside of standard maintenance in terms of repairs and extra things
So,
I
but,
bought
okay,
for it,
standard maintenance,
including the
not-
price
Not
of the
standard
car.
maintenance.
So I think standard maintenance.
Because the only part of the car that was not standard maintenance that had to be repaired outside of the rear struts, which were just old, and I replaced those. That was very expensive. That was about $3,000. But I also had to replace a supercharger coolant pump. So that was the only non-maintenance
Well, and then all
thing.
the
That
bushings.
was a repair.
You also replaced all the bushings.
That was a maintenance thing, though. That was on my part. They
They
weren't.
make you do that?
No, I chose to do that. I wanted to have a better riding vehicle, so I just opted to do the bushings and that kind of stuff. It makes a difference.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, so maintenance to me, when I think about maintenance, I think of oil,
Oil, tires, wipers.
tires, wipers,
Yes.
air filters, things like that.
Yeah.
Bushings are something I usually don't account for maintenance because usually it's going to be an upgrade or it's going to be something that.
It
But
needs to be
Anthony, when you
replaced.
buy higher mile cars like I do, the bushings
he
are
has-
not what
he
they
has
once
a number
were.
of higher miles.
So here's the deal: on my RSX, bushings are probably shot.
Yeah.
Not replacing those anytime soon.
Right, it's not a maintenance
I choose
thing.
to do that
Yeah.
because I'm a connoisseur. So
it's-
I decided to take
handles-
that extra
handles
step
fine.
and replace those
Handles
bushings.
fine. So
The point being, all that stuff
The
added
Suburban
together,
probably needs all new bushings,
of
too.
that factored
Not
in.
replacing any of those.
The total price with the car included would still be right around $30K or under $30K. I would not have gone over.
Okay.
All right, okay.
So
Understood.
I didn't just blow a wad on the car. Like I was selective, but
Yeah.
same time,
You were
I
looking
did
at
the
things that would make it ride nice, drive nice,
And
feel
I
nice.
was originally doing all this stuff because I was going to hold on to it for
Yeah.
the next 100,000 miles. And then
Yeah, I
this
know.
opportunity came along where
Yeah.
my dad's like, hey, F-Type, would you like to
Yeah, upgrade.
swap, upgrade? And I'm like, oh, that's an option?
Yeah.
Okay.
So would you say? So you would say with maintenance included? Would you say you have 35, 40 into the car?
Oh, as far as like things added.
Everything else and added, and the
your rear
bumper,
bumper
the
and-
wheels and tires.
The
and-
bumper was
You
by
have
far
three
the
sets of
dumbest
tires.
thing.
You have 3 sets of tires and
Yeah.
wheels.
Yeah, but you actually use those.
Well, yeah. yeah.
The bumper was my biggest oversight by far. Very expensive and never actually got installed. So yeah, that's right. Type bushings. Think of Dane. Thank you, buddy. Okay.
So I just
Yeah.
want to know, because the thing is, I mean, I'll be honest with my
Yeah.
project. I mean, there's been certain projects where I've spent absolutely nothing on, and it's been great. There's been other projects though where I've spent a decent amount of money on, and I go, that's a lot for.
And that's
what
right.
This is.
The thing is, for me, I don't feel the least bit bad about it. I feel like everything I spent, even the things where I was like, that bumper was a stupid decision. Overall, I'm happy I had the car, spent the money in the way I felt was fair, and I got all the love I wanted out of it. It was great. I really, really, truly love that car. So, yeah, that doesn't change. And nobody's going to bring me down on that.
It will be
fact.
going to a better home, better place.
Yeah.
Down in Texas.
Down in Texas.
Wrong.
Back
It's going
to
to
where
Arizona.
Down
Back
in
to where it goes.
Down in Arizona, dry country.
So they bought the car.
Yeah.
What else is going on with the car that you needed to?
Oh, Dane also got a headlight for it.
You got a headlight?
I bought the headlight for it. Because G. Davis, with his comment, it
Wow.
stuck with me and it
That was
burned in my brain,
expensive.
and I was like,
G-
I can't not
G has the
do
capability
this.
to
You got
cause
Dane
Dane-
to spend how much, Dane?
$900.
That's on you, G.
That's amazing.
on you.
So,
And we will expect to see that in return as a Wendy's gift card.
so I will say this.
This was when I wasn't getting
I will
bites.
say
I
this
ordered
is
it when I
impressive,
wasn't getting
but
bites,
this is-
thinking
but this
getting
is
rid of that
impressive.
light might help the listing.
Yeah,
I was like,
but-
fine, let's see if it works.
But this is impressive.
Yeah.
G.
I don't
Davis
budge on that stuff
Is all the
usually.
way on the East Coast. and the power that he has, he's able to wield like
oh man,
Saruman.
Yeah.
From so far away, he's able to conjure against King Theoden, and get him to cloud his mind and thoughts.
G. Davis's eye sits high in the sky,
tip my hat to
right?
you, sir.
The eye of G.
Yeah,
right.
right?
G. No,
it
so
goes far.
yeah, basically my logic there was I'd originally done the calculations and thought I'm willing to write this thing in there and explain it's not a problem. But to some people, they just see a dash light is on and they immediately go, "Oh, trash it! It's garbage."
The headlights were non-adaptive.
And G had that concern. He's like, "Do you think it would work if you just got the thing and replaced it?" The problem is, like, new from the factory, they're like $3,000.
Yeah.
They're like $2,800 for a headlight. Whereas I found like a good used one. The point was I found the adaptive one, so it makes the light go away. That's the most important thing.
Right.
So the one that's coming should arrive within the next week or so.
When
That'll
are you
show
getting
up.
rid of the
As
car?
soon as that arrives, I'm going to install it in the car. That light better effing go away. And then I'm going to say, "Hey, guy in Arizona, time to pick up your car. Sweet, thanks." And then we handle that process.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's
I like
how
it.
that's
I
going.
like the way that sounds. But G did offer to take you to the
working on it.
Spearmint Rhino.
Oh, dear.
Where I believe that many dollar bills will be spent.
Yeah, probably not as many as 900.
Are you guys still talking about Dane's headlight? My goodness, it only just came up. Yeah. I love that how much people
Joey, as
can't
long as
wait
he's
to get
not
past my
painting the
section
wheels.
on these things.
So anyway,
yeah, point is,
after that happened, what else did you do this weekend?
but the part that was insulting was the fact that this particular guy, he wouldn't have minded if I just hadn't gotten the headlight. He was one of those. So he was just like, "Yeah, no, I could have done that myself, but that's cool. I appreciate that." And I'm just like, eh. But you know,
okay, you don't get the headlight.
Yeah.
I'm sending it back.
I'm selling it now.
Selling it now.
They
Jeez.
don't allow returns. Go figure. Anyway,
Dane is honestly though the best guy to buy a car from because he'll fix all the stuff before the car
also,
gets
I will tell you
up.
everything about the
Catholic
car.
guilt
I am the most
is-
transparent car seller. If something's wrong and I'm the least bit nervous about it, I will tell you.
Honestly, what we need to do is get Gabe and Dane together on a couple car deals.
Dane, were you honest about the Montero when you traded it into sketchy car
that
dealership?
sketchy dealership. I took it to that place because I wanted it to go away. I didn't want to put that on a
They weren't
person.
honest with you about the Mazda.
No, they weren't.
3000 or whatever the
They
heck
got
that
what
thing
they
was.
deserved.
They didn't. They said his truck's good. Take it.
Can you believe that Dane had that Mazda truck? He only had it for what? You only had it for what? A couple months?
That Mazda, I love that Mazda truck, despite the fact that it had a head gasket failure.
Sucked. The truck sucked.
No, that little platform, just that small.
Could you imagine
little
though
body
if
with
he
a
would have,
V6 in
you
it?
know what if he would have done what he should have done in the first
Yeah.
place? 5.0 swap.
Just throw a big dumb
it
302 in
never
there.
happened.
But that's
No.
what I mean. If he would have been like real, we could have had him
Sure.
and Nate doing burnouts.
Well, and rest in peace,
in
the
their
Sport
trucks.
Track, right?
Yeah.
Like, the
Right.
Sport
Well,
Track will forever be
As
missed.
as you'll recall with the Montero,
the toilet truck.
funny enough, the thing about the
They needed to
Montero,
get rid of the toilet, so you bought a
the
truck.
thing that killed the Montero for me was the fact that it was going to need a $1,000 catalytic converter replacement
I remember
on a
that.
vehicle that was probably barely worth that. So it was just like, yeah, no, this dealership. Dealerships buy crappy cars and fix them up and sell them to somebody else. Fine, okay, you take it, you do with it. I'm not gonna. I just want to part with it. So yeah, that
It
was
was a
the
limited
logic there.
Ulysses.
You live and learn. Am I right, Dane?
Yeah, but you know what? I like gathering these experiences, so I'm going to continue to get cars that I find interesting, experience them, and then move on to the next experience. I was actually listening to Doug DeMiro talk about that when a bunch of people were asking him, like, "Oh, you bought the Carrera GT and other stuff," and he was just talking about experiences. And I'm like, "Holy cow, I can relate to that." So I appreciate that he's in a position now he can
There you go.
really do that. But yeah, no, that's
Well,
how I feel on a much smaller
I
scale.
guess now it's how long will you have the Flex for?
The Flex, honestly, that's not going to be a forever car, but that's going to be a wild car.
So we've heard
The
it here
F-Type,
first.
the F-Type will probably be an extremely long.
So when are you gonna soup up the Flex?
Well, I don't know
What
if
are you
he
waiting
will.
on?
I don't
mean-
know if he will, at this point. I don't know if he will.
You don't think
soup it
he
up
will?
Because I think that at this point,
He's gonna
I'm
be
comfortable
satiated
with it.
by
I
the.
think he's comfortable with it. But I think the Flex isn't his one true love.
True.
Yeah.
He's waiting on an Elantra. It's forever Elantra.
Yeah, no. See, the thing is, for my forever vehicle, I got to find that perfect balance of, does the utility, but it's also not boring as sin to drive. So,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
The Flex can do that, but it needs some suspension work.
When are you going to soup up
Needs
the
some
Flex
wheels.
so you can not be bored while you drive it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not bored driving it though.
okay.
It makes fun whooshy noises, so I kind of like that.
Well, Ant's got plenty of places for his sauces.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, no, it has ample space and storage
Sauces.
for all
Chicken
sorts of
nuggies.
stuff. So, apart from that, because people aren't necessarily interested in all that, I did watch the new Last of Us episode. I enjoyed that.
Good.
While the last couple episodes were, I wouldn't call them bad. I would just say in the order of events, I would say I enjoyed this most recent episode more than the last two before it. I like the change of scenery. I enjoyed just the kind of like character building and stuff. And while the action is like fairly limited to a few parts, I think it was just really enjoyable.
Yep. Well, that was a great story.
2 thumbs up from me.
Oh, Beard Hunter says that's why you should have kept the Tacoma. He should have kept the
No,
Tacoma.
that truck was so boring to drive. I did not enjoy
I
that.
should have bought it.
I
Yeah,
hated
you should've
that
bought it from him.
transmission. I will never shut up about that transmission tuning being stupid.
I should have just bought that truck.
It was such
I
an
would have
annoying.
been rich.
It would have made so much money. Any of us should have bought that truck from him.
Instant equity.
Instant equity.
Sorry.
Oh,
Dane.
my pain.
I'm just waiting for him to buy another one.
Yeah, no,
Then
give
we'll
it
really jump
with
on it.
enough time.
Yeah.
Dane will buy another vehicle. You might be able to buy that Flex for like $10,000 bucks, right? So we'll see.
Oh,
Dane,
geez.
we
Okay.
love you. Okay, so what else did you do?
Yeah, no, it was primarily that. That was the focus of this weekend. Other than that, it was simply I cleaned the house. I was a responsible adult. I did all the things you're
nice.
supposed to do
Yeah.
every weekend, but it had been like a month or two since I like really thoroughly went through. So I did that. Just going the extra mile, especially since I'm looking after Cooper this week. A lot of dog hair in the house, even more than usual. So
Cooper
doesn't
doesn't
shed.
shed.
no, he puts these like wiry, pokey little hairs out because he's got the Schnauzer fur. It's like really pokey.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, as someone who doesn't live with him, I'll tell you.
Dane, I have 2 beautiful golden retriever show
Yes,
dogs.
golden retrievers
I know
are
a lot
fine.
about dog hair.
Yeah, I have a Great Pyrenees.
Yeah, I
So,
know. Maybe
I can
that's
talk.
worse than what I got.
He just-
Anyway.
she sheds clumps.
Yes. Yeah.
Why don't you
Cooper's
why don't
shedding individual
What
hairs.
people don't know is that Dane actually has a cutout in his house for a dog bed in
That
a
is
dog
true.
kennel.
Yeah.
Have you tried putting Cooper in there?
I don't think he knows about that space.
Okay.
Who uses that space out of your animals?
Nobody.
Really?
Nobody.
Your friends? Is that where Brandon was sleeping?
It's just like a Harry Potter situation. Little
literally what it
room
is.
under the stairs.
It
He's
is.
got like a miniature. Everything is like 1/3 height. Everything's
You're
scaled
like, so
down.
this is Brandon's room. I'm like, oh, nice, pretty big in here. You're like, no, down in here, the cubby hole.
He's just like, hi guys, I can't stand up, but I'll wave.
Dane's doing his Twitch stream. He's crawling
my
on all
God.
fours as he gets out of the room.
All right, Brandon, well, you stay in there until dinner time.
man.
You got
Yeah.
it, Dane.
So anyway, that was my weekend. That was the majority of it. Oh, okay. Tacoma simply needed re-geared and a supercharger.
Yeah. Josh knows
Speak
what's
for
up.
yourself.
He's got one.
And
I
then,
did not enjoy it. It was functional. It was reliable. It was great at all those things. It's the things people like them for. It's just for the dynamic purposes. It's not for me.
Then we have Out of Focus Photography says, haha, I traded my 2021 Tacoma for my Camaro 1LE.
Nice.
And he paid 30.
Made $3,000 on the
He paid
trade.
37 for the Tacoma.
Nice.
And he got 40K in trade. That's what I'm saying. Instant equity, baby. You can't beat those Tacomas for that.
Nope. They
It's
make you
amazing.
money. It's like the
Yeah.
old adage, solid as
I
Sears,
burned myself horribly.
solid as a
on that.
Tacoma, right? You're going to make money on it. It's the best new investment. If you're
I-
looking to make the best amount of money, buy a Tacoma. Lease it when the prices are low. Keep it. Make
don't
sure you
make the
refinance
mistake
it.
I did.
Make sure you buy it out through your bank,
Yeah.
not through Toyota Finance Company.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you buy it, then do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who are
sell it the next
sell
week.
it and make millions.
Wait one more week or 2
Millions.
weeks. Sell it, make some money.
I'll just tell them the story briefly so they understand what you guys are making fun of me for because
We're not making
I
fun of
know
you, Dane.
fully.
We're not making fun
I
of
know
you.
Not
fully.
making funny.
You got.
I was in an even better position with my Tacoma than you were. That's the
got-
part that sucks.
You got backed into a corner, Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah. it was basically right before we were going on a trip. I leased this Tacoma in 2020 before all the stuff got crazy. So I got a good price for it.
You did.
And it was a lease, so it was, a cheap monthly payment or whatever.
It was
but then
$300 a month, right?
Yeah, like
I thought it was
350.
350, yeah. And it was fine until first world problems. I won that truck, and then I was like, I don't need multiple trucks. This is kind of ridiculous. And I figured like something had to happen. I was going to sell that truck. I wasn't going to keep it forever.
And you won the truck, and you also got $20,000 cash.
Well, yeah, but that went for the taxes.
I know, but you still had
some cash.
You were liquid until those taxes kicked in.
Yeah, I'm not going to be trying to put myself in a hole. So what happened was I had that Tacoma from the prime point to pick one up. Like I didn't know it at the time, but I happened to get one at like the best possible time. Fast forward, year or so, and then we find ourselves in the midst of all the other crap with used car sales going nuts and new car sales being like virtually non-existent. Chip shortage, all that stuff going on. And we were coming up on a trip we had to make. And I was telling myself, okay, clean up the Tacoma. I'm going to sell it. This will be fine. It's, appreciated in that time, which is hilarious, but that's what you do. Got that thing all spruced up, all good to go. And I took it to CarMax because I didn't want to deal with like a private sale or doing any of that kind of stuff. And these guys had apparently tried to warn me, and I didn't know it. But apparently, the equity you have in your vehicle when you have it leased
many times
belongs to you and only you. And if you want to get that price that you think you can get for it, you have to finance through yourself and then sell it.
Buy it out, yeah.
You have to buy it out first, because if you try and just do a direct sale through their like bank, because it was done through like U.S. Bank or something, in that case they did it, and when it went through CarMax, the price changed. So basically, the equity that you made just poof disappears. And so you're left with what they decide is like, oh, this is the actual amount. And so somehow, as a moron, and I'm saying this to save others from making the mistake I went. Because of the way the law was written that changed how they did this stuff. They changed the rules sometime in the last like 5 years. And I didn't know any of this, and I screwed myself, seriously. I had to pay CarMax money to buy the car from me. How insane is that? How stupid is that?
Well, the best part
on
was
a car that I had
he got
massive
it all done,
equity in.
And then we went on the trip.
Yeah.
And
I
then
just
we were
wanted to like
eating a
get
delicious
out of it.
breakfast in San Francisco.
But by the time we were on the trip, Dane knew that he's like, crap, I made a mistake on this, right?
Yeah.
But
I knew in the room, but the problem was at that point I was just like,
you were so far in. They were like, so.
And it was just
keys
small
and a check,
enough.
please.
Yeah. No, that's the most insane thing is when you're selling the car and they ask you for a check, and I'm like, the problem was it was a small enough amount that it wasn't something I couldn't handle at the time, but it was something that was like
handled it.
It was morally objectionable,
Yeah.
like to my core, and I'm just sitting there going, I have appointments this afternoon. I can't stay here forever. I have to just, bleep or get off the pot. Okay, fine. I'm just doing it. And it sucked. It hurt so bad. And I'm like, I'm never doing that again. And I just walked out of there feeling like total dog pile. Like it was bad.
So basically, you end up having to pay them, and all the payments that you had made towards that car are
they're gone.
Void now. So anyway,
so anyway, that's my fun story. Super uplifting. Thanks,
Dane
Alex.
is best at selling cats, acquiring cats, and temporarily losing actual cats. Congratulations on the sale, buddy.
Man.
Tony, favorite part of the podcast is peer pressure story time with Dane.
Tony, you get me. I love you, buddy. I love you.
Peer pressure.
For real, you could just feel the walls closing in on me, and I'm like,
G. Davis, fond memories of Dat Booty and Cash.
And on that note, Levi, how was your weekend?
Wow, really great.
Transitioning
Dane,
over to
so
you now.
proud of you.
Let me just get off of this hot seat.
I am happy though that you did sell the Jag. I'm excited for you with the new Jag.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to see how that goes. I will say my weekend was pretty chill.
Okay.
But it started in chaos. So Friday I got a call that Augie's pump had shut off.
Yeah.
It was still working, making noise, but the screen was completely black, so you couldn't deliver anything. We couldn't see what his blood sugar was. We couldn't see anything. So I had to leave work here to run home, grab needles and insulin, take him to the school, bring his kit with him, all this stuff. We had to do it the old-fashioned way. Got him got him dosed and checked his blood and everything. And then I came back here, and while I was on the phone, I called Tandem and was able to get a replacement pump overnighted. Literally showed up about 24 hours later, the next day on Saturday. So Friday night, we were originally going to have my kids spend the night at my mom's because she's leaving in a couple weeks for a few months. And so she wanted to take them and have a sleepover and stuff. So I had to call my mom and say, hey, I can't have you watch him tonight because we're going to have what we call a newborn night where we're up about every 2 hours, checking blood, doing math, and basically trying to keep Augie alive through the night. Yeah. It's not fun. It sucks. Yeah. So told my mom, hey, if we get the pump tomorrow and I get it all, because I have to rebuild his entire program, it takes about an hour and a half to fully set up the new pump again. And so I said, look, if I get the pump in time and I get it set up and it connects to his monitor, which takes 2 hours, it all works, then yeah, we'll be bringing him over tomorrow night if you want to take him for Saturday night. And she said, of course, not a problem. Love to. So Friday night just kind of sucked. It's a lot of math, and it's hard, especially when that math is connected to keeping that child alive.
Yeah.
Super, super crappy, especially at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to do a long division problem. So that was my Friday night. So then Saturday, Francie dropped off his minivan. So I detailed his wife's minivan. He's getting ready to wrap it. So I did a full interior on it, which it definitely needed, but it was all
kind
leather.
Of van is it?
It's a new Odyssey minivan.
Oh, okay.
It's like a 2019, 2020. Yeah. It's really nice.
Nice.
He's got all the lights smoked on it, and it's white and looks nice. He's going to wrap it. And he wanted me to clean the interior for it, but then also get the exterior as ready as possible for wrap, which meant not putting any protectant on the vehicle when I was done with it. So I got it as raw as I could for him and just said, I hope you wrap it within the next month because this is going to change. So spent Saturday working on the interior, all day on the interior. It was pretty rough, so I had to do a lot with it. And then Saturday night, dropped the kids off at my mom's. Carly and I went to the food warehouse down in Bodo, the new warehouse. Check that out.
It's kind of fun, right?
How do you like it?
It's cool. It was one of those where I was like, yeah, I liked the place. I thought it was really neat. The food we wanted had an incredibly long line.
Which one?
The barbecue one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they were out of everything. Oh. And so it's kind of like, so we walked down to R&R, which was dead. Oh. And R&R's next to Tupelo Honey.
Right. Yeah.
And R&R is actually decent. So we went to R&R, ordered our food, sat and ate. There was a drag show going on at the balcony, so we got to see everybody coming up for that, which was a lot of fun. And then from there, we left, went and ran some errands at the mall, looking at getting stuff for Hadley for her birthday, because that's next month. And then grabbed some Cold Stone, headed home, watched Violent Night.
Oh, I've wanted to watch that. It's good, though, right?
It's very good. It's fun. And then, just talked and caught up. Then Sunday, picked up the kids from my mom's. They had a great night. And then Sunday was spent literally just finishing up that car. It was super nice outside. So the kids had their bikes out. The neighbor kids were over. They were riding their bikes around the neighborhood. Like, it was just nice to see everybody, like, doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I was able to get that car done. And then I texted John, said, hey, it's ready to go. And he's like, dude, I got a party at my house this year. So we're doing a dinner. Yeah. So I don't know when I'm going to pick up the car. So he called me at 9:00. Hey, on my way. Can I pick it up still? I said, of course you can. Showed up at my house at 9:30. His wife loved it. Thought it was perfect. She was so excited. She's like, you got the paint off my leather. You got all this. Like, there was yellow paint all over the middle row.
I was going to say, paint on leather. Yeah.
It was bad. So got the whole interior done, and then got everything finished with them. But also Sunday night we finished Two Towers,
right?
The Lord of the Rings, because we've been watching those, and we were able to start Return of the King.
What did they think of the Two Towers?
They liked it. They're enjoying it.
What did they think of the elves joining in?
They liked that part too. The Battle of Helm's Deep.
Battle of Helm's Deep is
Sunday
sick.
was
That's
that was our
heavy.
game. I was like, we got to get in there and finish that. And they were like, yeah. So because I made spaghetti.
Yeah.
Hadley wanted, or Augie wanted spaghetti. Hadley wanted meatball subs. So I made dinner.
Spaghetti and meatball subs.
Spaghetti and meatball subs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tag teamed them so they could eat. And then I said,
Nice.
hurry and eat so I can get so we can go watch the Battle of Helm's Deep. That's where we were, right?
Oh.
2 towers. So that was great. I used Steam, Sean.
Bam.
I don't like using Steam on leather, and I use Steam on that situation just to get it wet. I made sure I sprayed a little Express on it, and then, the McCullough has that little green sponge attachment. I put that on,
For agitation.
and I'd already peeled a section of it off, so it was a lot softer, and I just set it and kind of squished it on there and blotted it, and
Makes sense.
then I wiped with a towel, and then wiped with a towel,
Nice.
McCulloch 1275,
Yeah.
baby.
Well, then I also stopped and let it sit for a bit and cool again because you can't get the leather too hot or it starts to
Yeah,
pull
bad
and
things
stretch.
happen.
So I tried to just watch my temperature on the actual leather itself, but that's how I got it out.
Okay.
But multiple, kind of like, it's hard to say, but it's like welding. You're trying to keep the temperature down on the metal to prevent it from warping. It's the same
Yeah.
thing with leather. You want to prevent the leather from warping.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, so we, thanks
the
to
first
Focus.
one.
So we had a blast. Sunday night was just watching that, and Augie was starting to feel a little sick, so that wasn't fun. And then Monday they had the day off, so I was able to come in and the normal time, not have to take anybody to school or any of
Yeah, there
that.
you
So
go.
it was pretty good, but. All in all, pretty simple weekend. Next weekend, I have to detail a truck for the Roadster Show.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Les
Carson was
Schwab.
asking if you were going to be there.
So yeah, I don't know. It's not till mid-March.
we're not going anywhere.
We're not going to
are
be
we?
there. The rag company won't physically be
Yeah,
there.
no.
If anybody is there during the show times, who's not to say they might be there, but
Sure.
I'm not actually planning on going to the car show.
Right.
But I am working on a truck for the Roadster Show that is going to be the Les Schwab service truck that they put in the Les Schwab booth. And so I'm working on that on this weekend, which is my birthday. So it'll be
Birthday weekend
pretty
detailing.
easy. The truck's always spotless.
Yeah.
So I just need to make it. I just need to do the outside.
It's Wayne's, right?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
need to spruce it up a bit, make it look shiny and pretty. Give him a bottle of Dream Maker and say wipe her down and have that sucker glow. He loves having the fact that like he's got an actual Les Schwab work truck sitting there that's like with flawless paint.
Yeah, it's kind of a humble brag. Like, look, this is the thing we use for work.
Yeah,
look how
that's-
nice it looks.
Yeah, and that's literally like his. And then he usually puts a couple other cars. The last few years he's put his Camaro or his Corvette in there. He's put his big, huge black Chevy pickup, square
Sure,
body. So he usually does different stuff. But because he always keeps the nicest trucks and has his trucks nice, he kind of controls the show.
kinda gets the invite.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, that's it. This weekend was pretty quiet. I watched Last of Us, Violent Night. I will say I actually really enjoyed and had a lot of fun with because I thought it was equal parts, like violent assault and things, but then silly comedic performances.
Some like Die Hard.
David
vibes.
Harbour was amazing in it. It kind of Die Hard style, but at the same time had a little bit of Home Alone in there, which was really great to see the
Nice.
different silly
contraptions.
contraptions and things
traps.
traps that were going on, and that was hilarious.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that was my
That's
weekend.
awesome.
Anthony, did you also have a
Yeah.
fun, exciting weekend?
Yeah, we thought you had a fun, exciting weekend. What would you
It
say?
was fun and exciting.
Okay.
Gosh, let me think. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess my weekend kind of started on Thursday. Not that I was off work, but just it kind of started on Thursday because I had to undertake a couple big projects on my car this weekend, right? And this is a timing thing where I had planned to do one thing, but I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I probably should fit this other thing before it just so it makes sense, right? So what I mean by this is I've been wanting to lower my vehicle, slam it, get it on the ground like a hot boy.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I want to be cruising down low,
Right.
Well,
In your
Acura.
doing the gangster
In my
lane.
Acura.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
doing the gangster lean.
Yeah, with a
With-
knit cap on,
Yeah.
beanie,
I want to be scraping my
banging
oil
them
pan.
gears.
Yep. it ain't great until you're scraping oil pans. So I want to be that low on the ground, right?
I like it. Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know what? I got to lower my vehicle. Let's get this thing done. So I had planned this weekend with my friend Jason. It was a date, right? I said, hey, Sunday, February 19th, me and you, we're lowering this thing. We're getting low.
Couple dads hanging out.
Couple dads. We're going to crack open a few beers.
Some Coronas.
And see what happens. And he's like, sounds like a plan. So with that said, I picked up some new wheels for my car, right? But
Thanks to your friends at Koenig.
Thanks to my friends at Koenig. Thank you, Scott. And but what needed to happen is I need to get the brakes done before probably doing the suspension.
Sure.
Mainly because I'm going to do the suspension.
Well, you're going to have everything torn apart. Why not do it?
Well, I'm going to have everything torn apart. The car's going to be on jack stands. I'm like, might as well just knock it out. Also, these wheels really show off the rotor hubs and brakes really well.
So they better look good.
Mine look like crap.
Yeah.
So I said, I got to refresh this. So starting Thursday night, I started actually like after work, Thursday and Friday night, I started with the brake job. And so the brake job really just consisted of removing the old stuff, giving everything a very deep clean because I was going to be painting my calipers, my brake calipers, with caliper paint.
Okay.
Now, in my opinion, painting calipers by hand is pretty janky.
You chose the one route that makes it acceptable.
So did you spray paint them?
No,
Well,
I
no.
hand brushed them.
Okay.
Now, I'm kind of haunted by caliper paint after seeing Dane's job.
Right.
It is
That's why I
haunting.
only did one side.
It's haunting, right?
Well, for folks that remember, we did it right when we had the Subaru, where you got through there with the Dr. Cook
Yeah.
chip.
Yeah, I was just touching
That matched
things
the gold,
up.
though,
Yeah.
but it looked beautiful.
It did look beautiful.
And
but that
then
was just-
2 weeks later, we had Dane's car in there, and he was over there with a
Because I was the only
paintbrush
one with the stones to
with a-
commit to
but he
doing
had
the
a
whole
large,
thing.
purdy paintbrush shoving in a can.
On that
and he was just
Z3, I painted all four
smacking,
calipers. I
just
masked off
slapping
the
it.
area. I got in
Yeah.
there, slathered it up, and I said, "Good." Just kidding. I sprayed
Look
it
at Christine's
like a
comment.
professional.
Portuguese
thank you.
lowrider.
yeah.
Portuguese low right. But no, like when I say you did it right in this case, because you painted it by hand,
Yeah.
it was because it was.
Yes. So it was legit caliper paint.
Yeah.
But what it was is I had prepped the surfaces. These calipers, I had pulled the old rotors off. I had one small hiccup where I stripped out a rotor screw, but I had to drill it out. That was a very small hiccup in the grand scheme of things. But basically what I had done is I had take off the rotors, I took off the pads, and then I just mounted up the brake calipers onto the, what's it called? Anthony gets the hot voice, yes. So I wanted to mount the calipers just onto the brackets themselves and then paint them from there. So I ordered this stuff called G2 ceramic caliper paint, right? It's got the highest reviews on Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I used. on the
$70,
Yeah.
right? But I thought to myself, hey,
Okay.
Yeah.
let's do this thing, right?
Yeah.
Let's light this candle. So I ordered it in gloss black. I thought that was going to look the best.
That was my point. Was
And-
you chose a dark color, so the hand brushing doesn't show as much.
Yeah, but you could have gotten
Unfortunately-
black engine
yes,
paint
he could have
I could've.
gone a different
and done the
route. Yeah.
spray paint
High
way
heat.
and been way faster.
Yeah.
High heat, gloss black.
Was it VHT, VRT,
Yeah.
something like
could've.
that?
Beautiful paint.
Yeah.
Here's what
Wonderful
happened.
paint.
Duplicolor.
The
Great
caliper
finishes.
paint got delayed by a day.
Right.
Because it got delayed, the shipment got delayed by a day, it pushed everything back
Okay.
another day.
Another day.
Another day.
Another
Because
day.
you know what I had to deal with? The paint drying, right?
Yeah.
Paint doesn't dry
Right.
fast when it's 50 degrees.
Right.
I had that.
So did you get your heater buddy on there?
Heater, I got to get that heater going in the garage. I got up to 70 and it
Yep.
started to really fume out in there. It didn't
It's
feel
starting to get sucked into the
man.
HVAC system.
Yeah. So
Grant's family is
I
not enjoying it.
so what I had to do was I had to basically deep clean those old calipers.
Yeah.
They're 23-year-old calipers,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Or, wait, 2005,
Yeah.
18-year-old calipers. Yeah, 18-year-old.
You're
calipers.
close enough.
So I had to deep clean those things, and
Yeah.
I had to scrub the crap out of them. Wire brushes, and you know what my saving grace was? Magic wheel cleaner. You want to know why? Because it breaks down all the old brake dust. It
Yeah.
breaks down all the iron contaminants there.
Right.
So a combination of that and brake cleaner and all that, I was able to clean them up. After that had happened, that's when the caliper paint got in, and I said, all right, it's time to Bob Ross this crap, right? It's time to really get my paintbrush and really get in there
Yeah.
and start diving into the nooks and crannies. To my surprise, right, pretty good stuff.
I saw it. It looked
It
looked just fine.
Honestly, to my surprise, I was very surprised at how well that stuff actually went on there. I had to get a different paintbrush to do a better job
Yeah.
and everything. But it looks good. I would say that if anybody's interested in painting calipers by hand, that's probably the way to do it. Because on top of painting the calipers, I also resprayed in black the dust heat shields for the rotor, on the backside of the rotor.
That's why those look so good. Because I was looking and I was going, why are these so dark colored? Like, I thought there would be kind of,
Dane.
faded looking, kind of.
Dane, you're talking
dingy.
You're talking to a perfectionist here, so
Yeah,
I had to
he
get that
is.
done.
He really
Masked
is.
it off, did a little couple sprays in there.
That
so
makes
at this
a
point
lot
in
of
time,
sense.
the whole braking system looks freaking amazing, right? Painted calipers, slotted rotors,
Correct.
new stop tech pads, and then the first hiccup was a very small hiccup, but it happened when I was going to go put in the rear pads. Stop Tech, the company, sent me the wrong size rear pads. I said, not a big deal, but I'm here and I need new pads. So I went down to O'Reilly's, got some new pads. I had to rent a brake caliper compression tool that goes in there and twists because you have to twist and press in the rear calipers. Why that is, no idea. It kind of sucked, but
Can't just use a C-clamp and push the plunger
you
back?
have to push. You have to push in and twist, right?
Yeah.
Company near me comes to my house, removes tires, cleans rotors. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Repaints them, replaces tires. That's actually a pretty good deal.
Huh.
So anyway, so I had to get that done. But yeah, I got the new brake pads in there. And at this point in time, it was Sunday morning. So Saturday was, we had taken Lucy to go down to get her passport, take my daughter down there. And then after that, we went to, what's it called? We'd drop off the 4Runner over at our friends over at Peterson Toyota to charge me an ungodly amount of money for
all the service stuff that you needed done.
A brake flush, power steering flush, transmission flush, oil change, and all the stuff that I simply do not have the time to do. So I said, yeah, we'll just pay it, and at least it looks good on the Carfax.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a lot. But
Looking good
it's
on
all
the
good.
Carfax.
It looks good on the
So
Carfax.
next time you could just do that yourself.
But it won't show up at the Carfax.
Next
if you
time
do
I
it.
won't have a car and jack stands in the garage where maybe I can just do it myself. And so anyway, so push and twist is required for the parking brake piston. Okay, well there you go.
Also,
right?
Birch saying hello.
So Brodel knows. So after that though, basically at that point in time, I was sitting pretty. I put in the last brake pads. My friend Jason shows up and he's like, "All right, dude. Let's get these coilovers done."
I got 4 hours and 45 minutes to make this magic happen.
He had 5 hours.
I need to drive.
He had 5 hours
home.
taking. Yeah, but 4 hours and 45 minutes.
Drive over, drive home.
He told me, he's like, "Hey, dude, so I promised my wife I'd be home at like 5 hours, but she seems super cool today, so who knows how long I have, right? Like let's just hang out and let's have a good time." And I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, Jason,
Got you for the whole night.
we got beers, we got Coronas, we have IPAs.
You set up a whole experience.
It was an experience.
You set up an actual bar.
He brought over a Little Caesars pizza.
Wow.
Right?
Aw.
I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, perfect. But we got to run to O'Reilly's really quick. Got to grab a couple more things. Grab some McDonald's on the way for my family because I want to be a good dad and have a good husband. Just to set the vibes that we are good to go for the day.
Right.
So we jump into it. We start removing the suspension. Front suspension starts coming out. We start replacing it. Rear suspension goes in. We start doing that. And at this point in time, it had been several hours because we've been kind of talking and just kind of having a good time. I don't know what else to say. But everything was going relatively smoothly. The first probably thing where I go, I don't know if that was quite right, is that when you go to put in a tie rod end, right, the end of a tie rod, which looks like a 90-degree little tie rod angle thing, when that goes in, that does not need to be impacted on. I just want to make that very clear to people. Never impact on a tie rod end. We did it. Didn't know it was a problem, but it was eventually a problem. Put in the rear coilovers, that went fine. Jason says, "Hey, dude, I got to take off." I said, "Oh, really? Right now? Like, I could really use you for like another 30 minutes. Like, we could probably belt this out." He's like, "Dude, no, man." He shows me the text, and I go, "Oh, you got to go now." And he's like, "Yep, I got to go now." I said, "All right, man." So car's sitting in the garage on jack stands. I have the trunk hatch up because we had to get access to the towers on the inside. And he's like, "Hey, which garage door opener is it?" He goes to press the one, and I go, "Oh, it's not that one." So he presses it again. I go, "It's the other one." He goes, "Cool, sounds good." Hits that garage door. What happens? The garage door opens up on my spoiler that is jacked in the highest point. So the garage door hits it and goes whack, 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 whack. And he was like, "Dude, the spoiler." I like dove, grabbed it, pulled it down. It was too late. That spoiler was just painted. It was just painted, and it got it pretty good. Nice little indentation on it from the metal rod, and I was like, yep, so that's got to go in for paint again. That sucks. It has $60 gaskets on it. I guess it needs new gaskets now, too. It just, he's like, he felt really bad. And I said, maybe I can buff it out. So after he left, I pounded down like another beer just to make myself feel better. Yeah. I grabbed some 3000 grit to see if I can pull out that stent scratch. Blew through the clear. So, like...
Just wash the paint away.
So it just sucked.
Pretty normal.
Sounds. So I said that was bad, and then it just got worse. And so at that point in time, I had already texted Dane. I said, "Hey man, it'd be great if I can have somebody here hold a flashlight. I just need another person for to help me out, or just be here in case a nut falls or something."
Sure.
And so to Dane's credit, good friend, he shows up. Right, shows up at the house
at 7 on a Sunday night.
Shows up at the house, and he's like, all right, so where are you at? I'm like, okay, I got to put in these rear camber arms here. I got to finish up that front suspension over there. It's going to be fine. And at that point in time, though, guys, I'm not going to lie, full of transparency, I had a couple beers, and I was like...
I could tell.
I was not as sharp as I was. Does that make sense?
You were very clearly like, you weren't like a mess, but you were very clearly buzzed.
You
were buzzed.
I was sad about the spoiler. Right?
Yep.
But I was also just kind of overwhelmed with how much I had done over the last couple of days.
Right.
That I said, I'm just going to have a couple more beers, man. And I did. And at that point in time, I would set something down, turn around and be like, I don't really know where I even put that anymore.
I watched that happen like 10 times.
So Dane comes over and he's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, I go, Dane, I've been looking down too much. Like, when you're walking on the ground, you're just looking everywhere?
Yes.
My neck hurts.
No, but when I came in, you hadn't mentioned anything about the spoiler yet.
Yeah.
So I walked in, and as I was looking, I was just like, oh, the way your lights hit, I caught that weird little like snakebite looking thing on the wing, and I was like, what happened here? When did this happen? And you're like, literally like an hour ago.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
literally.
Okay. And I'm like, but there's paint on it. You're like, I touched it up.
Yeah, blobs of paint on it. I was not happy. So Dane helped me. We installed the rear camber arms, and then after that, we went to the front to go install the front other suspension on the passenger side. Got that in. Axle popped out. Right? Okay. Scared the crap out of me.
You kept talking beforehand about how if this happens, this is bad news.
Yeah. Got it back in. By the grace of God, I don't know what happened. I guess he cut me some slack, and he said, "Hey, you've had enough today. You've had enough today. So we're gonna let you put that axle back in." So axle popped back in. Thank God. I got the suspension in, impacted on the tie rod end onto the strut, which again, don't do that. And after that, I said, all right, Dane, well, thanks for the help, man. You can take off. So Dane took off. Went in the house, had a little bit of food, said I need to just kind of chill for a second here. But at that point, it's getting pretty late at night.
Yeah.
And I go back in the garage after I was actually feeling quite better. I was like, okay, I'm feeling okay. And then I realized a couple things. I go, hey, that rear camber arm that I put on both sides, that's incorrect. I did that wrong.
Oops.
I had too many beers at that point. And so because I'm crazy, I redid it. So I took off both of the rears there and redid them. Sent a screw in, a little wonky. It's in.
It's not coming out.
That one's not coming out. And then I put the tires and wheels on because I thought, you know what?
You're like,
let's see what this looks like.
Maybe let's see what this looks like. And let's bring it down.
It's probably like, what, 10:30 at night at this point? Because I left around 9:30.
It was like 11.
Yeah.
So I got to put the front wheels back on, and not great.
Put the back ones on, lowered the car down.
The toe on that car, the wheels, the car looked like something from the movie Cars. It looked like Lightning McQueen. The car literally looked cross-eyed. The freaking tires, man, when you look at the front of the car, were like this. Like, I'm looking at the car and I go, holy crap,
you took
man.
Tilty Boy to the next level.
I go, I should have adjusted those tie rod ends. Oh. I'm like sitting there scratching my head like, how did I screw this up this bad, right? I'm like, was it the beers? Was it the rushing because I got a guy with an angry wife? What was it? What got me to this point right now? And why is my spoiler? And why is my spoiler damaged? Right? Sucks. And
stop while you're ahead.
And I'm like, God bless my wife. She's been the most patient person with me through this whole thing. I'm like, thank you for the patience because I mentally can't handle any more failures today.
Oh man.
So yeah, basically I said I got to pop off this tie rod end. I got to try to fix what I just screwed up here. And go figure, I go to pop off the tie rod end, and I use the little prior tool to get it off. There was a nut that was on the bottom of the threads to protect the threads.
Yeah.
The tie rod tool went up at an angle and hit the nut at a weird angle, sent the nut diagonally, and jumped 4 threads, completely stripping and ruining my tie rod end. And I go, yep. That sounds.
And that's not a normal.
So this is the tie rod end. This is the bolt. Yeah. Like this. It's
at an angle.
There we go. It's at an angle like that.
It's awkward.
So I buzzed it off, destroy the threads. Car can't go back on the ground. I go back inside the house, and Kitty goes, "Cool. Did you get the car back on the ground? Can you drive it now?"
Did you pull my car into the garage?
I say, "No, can't drive it. It's just
borked.
I got to order a part now. I got to make a couple calls. Screwed this up." So. Anyway, so that was literally how my Sunday night ended. Sucked. And I go, it wasn't a bad weekend. It was just a lot of small unexpected things that just kind of compounded where I was like, dude, normally there's not this many things that like put me in a bad mood, but that one kind of did in this case. So at that point, yeah, I called. I got the new part on order. I'm going to go pick it up today from Honda. And I think I got my toe situation figured out. But my steering wheel was like this, and my wheels were like this.
So fun thing. Remember when I replaced the struts on the Elantra? That weekend that I spent replacing the 150,000-mile struts, putting some new struts on there.
High performance, yeah.
Put Tiburon struts on the front, some Elantras on the back.
What was the brand on those?
They were Gabriel's.
Yeah, Gabriel's.
They're all
ultra premium.
Yeah. So I took it down to Les Schwab the next day to get it aligned. And it was doing that too. It was kind of little, each tire and wheel was kind of wonky, right? And I took a video and I sent it to you guys and I said, well, they're on, but it kind of looks funny. Wayne called me. I didn't tell you guys this. Wayne called me and goes, you put the front ones on backwards.
Oh.
And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, the left one's on the right side and the right one's on the left side.
What's the clue?
He goes, you put them on wrong. And I said, oh, because my brake line bolts didn't match up.
Oh, okay.
And I said, no, I put them on the way they're supposed to, like they're marked in the box.
Sure.
Driver's front, passenger front.
So it's the factory wrong?
Yeah. And he's like, dude, they're on backwards. And so they took them off for me, put them back on the right way, aligned the whole vehicle, set the camber, set the toe, set everything for me.
Performance machine.
So
anyway,
it can be frustrating.
Dude, I'm not great with alignment stuff. I kind of felt dumb because normally with alignment things, I've never had to deal with this because on a Honda Civic or on an Evo or on really any of the damn truck, for example, like there's been a lot of different things I've done. It just sits right. Yeah. I put it down. I go, yep, heck yeah, brother. Let's drive.
You thought it was going to happen again,
and I go get an alignment. And everything's solid. This was the first time that I literally, without even putting the car down, I look at it and I go, that is so wrong right now that I can't even begin to figure out where I went wrong. But anyway, I spent some time last night adjusting it. I got it back to where it looks actually pretty fine right now. I called Scott over at Koenig. He gave me some good advice. And then it'll be going in for an alignment on Thursday. Nice. But at this point in time, I have no idea how high the car is, how low the car is, or anything. It's still in jack stands. So I'm going to try to get it down on the ground tonight, see what it looks like, make a couple more adjustments as needed, and pray to God that that it all works out. So this is the fun stuff. But I enjoy the process, just not when things break or go wrong. So that was pretty much it, though. That was pretty much my weekend.
Okay.
I won't take on that many jobs or 2 jobs like that back to back again. Yeah. Not on borrowed time. At least.
Yeah. Maybe bit off a little more than you could chew kind of thing.
And normally it wouldn't have been.
No.
The biggest thing was
you've done bigger projects in the past.
That paint kit.
It never dried.
It showed up a day late. It
the Portuguese no-rider.
It screwed everything up.
Nice.
Pretty much. But anyway, I'm excited that once I get the car done, I think it'll look really, really cool.
Oh,
I just, it's getting to that point
Yeah.
Or you just got to bust a few knuckles, break some stuff,
Bust a few nuts,
Yeah.
too.
and spend some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always
Hi.
fun. Yeah, I know, Dane.
Hi.
I know. This is where Dane watches me and goes, "See, this is why I pay people to do that."
Dane's like, I don't do this. I don't know how to do
Dane's
this.
like, "That's not my stress. That I
Buy once, cry
have,
once.
I don't have the stress that you have right now because that's the shop's problem." And I go, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, Dane also keeps a garage space so that he can park his vehicles in there instead of going like, well, sorry, I guess I can't I'll have to park the car over here because I've got this other project going on.
Well,
in
and
there.
that was the difference, right? Like on my Miata, I was perfectly comfortable wrenching on that thing because it was like a cheap. I bought it for $1,200. It was a cheap thing that was like, fine, I could do the suspension on this. I could do the other things on it. I learned how to wrench on that car essentially, and then I didn't apply that to other cars like the Jag because I'm like, I'm scared of all these electronics and all this other stuff. I don't want to screw it up. The sensors are really sensitive. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, at a certain point, you just kind of like pick and choose your battles. In your case, you figured on the Hondas, the Acuras, they'll all kind of play similarly, so you're comfortable going from one to the next. And usually you're right. It's
Yeah.
just this particular one, for whatever reason, decided to
McPherson
bite you.
strut. It just sucks. Double wishbone all day.
Yeah, double wishbone for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, McPherson strut, they just suck. But anyways, that's it though. So that's
Yeah.
my weekend. So
Okay.
as far as that goes, Dane, I think you take it away. Take us home.
Take us
Take us to the promised land, my Portuguese homeland.
All right, and on that note, if you guys have been watching, please do us a favor. I've noticed the numbers have been quite good today, up in the mid-50s here. You guys are showing up. We appreciate that. So please hit like on your way out the door. We'd really appreciate that. Gets us out in front of more people. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, please do so. It helps us once again grow this channel into the place where we get to talk about detailing and detailing adjacent things. And that's what this Rag Company channel is good for. The other Rag Company channel, that's where we do our, live details and other detailing assorted things. So understand the ecosystem we're building here. All right, guys, that's it. So till Q&A Thursday, we'll see you then here on the Rag Company podcast channel. Have a good one.
See ya.
See ya.